Super Bowl weekend is supposed to be football, vibes, and celebrations, but this time, baby, the timeline was working overtime. Fans online started noticing who was seen, who wasn't, and who maybe wasn't supposed to be there, allegedly. Social media clips, reposts, and reactions started flying, and suddenly everyone became an FBI agent with Wi-Fi. Now, let's be clear, nobody is confirming anything, but when bloggers start reacting, fans start connecting dots, and cameras start catching moments, the internet is gonna internet. What really raised eyebrows was the silence. No loud captions, no long explanations, just short answers and moving on. And y'all know silence is allowed online. Some fans are saying it's nothing. Others are saying, nah, that timing is suspicious. And listen, this is all allegedly, based on what people think they saw and what's floating around publicly. No facts, just vibes and speculation. But one thing is clear. Super Bowl weekend didn't just crown a champion, it fed the gossip streets for weeks. Pink Mafia, what do you think? Why is nobody talking about this Super Bowl moment? Fans spotted something, bloggers reacted, and suddenly the timeline went silent, allegedly. Pink Mafia, are we reaching or nah? Super Bowl weekend had the internet acting like detectives. Unexpected sightings, awkward silence, viral reactions, no statements, just side-eye. Messy or misunderstood? You decide. Pink Mafia, this is where things start getting real interesting. Because when fans started replaying clips, zooming screenshots, and matching timestamps, one question kept popping up over and over again. Why does this feel so calculated? Allegedly. See, it's not just about who was there. It's about access. It's about timing. And it's about silence. When people want attention, they post. When they want peace, they explain. But when they want control of the narrative, they go quiet and let the internet fight over crumbs. And that's exactly what fans think is happening right now, allegedly. Some are saying this looks like someone making sure they're seen without saying a word. Others feel like certain moments were meant to send a message, not to the public, but to someone specific. And listen, no one is confirming anything. No statements, no denials, just vibes and very loud silence. What really got people talking was the contrast. One side celebrating, another side working, and somewhere in between, someone else showing up where fans didn't expect them. Pink Mafia, y'all already know when things don't add up, the internet starts subtracting excuses. And Pink Mafia, let's talk about what people are really whispering about. Because when situations are innocent, there's usually clarity. But when things are complicated, that's when you start seeing mixed signals, half energy, and carefully chosen words. Fans clocked the body language. Fans clocked the captions. Fans clocked what wasn't posted just as much as what was. And allegedly, that's where the tension comes in. Some are saying the silence feels strategic, like nobody wants to confirm anything, but nobody wants to deny it either. And that gray area, baby, that's where gossip lives. What really made people pause was how fast the internet split into sides. One side saying, y'all reaching. The other side saying, nah, this don't feel random. And when timelines don't line up, people start asking uncomfortable questions, not facts, questions. Was it coincidence? Was it convenience? Or was it someone making sure their presence was felt without ever saying a word? Allegedly. Because one thing about public situations, if it walks messy, looks messy, and trends messy, the internet is going to treat it as messy. Pink Mafia, this isn't about proving anything. It's about perception. And right now, the perception is loud. So keep your eyes open, keep your tea hot, and remember, Pink Mafia, take a deep breath, because this is the part where things stop being cute and start being uncomfortable. Because when the cameras are rolling and the world is watching, people perform. But when the cameras turn away, that's when the real story starts leaking out. And allegedly, that's exactly what fans think they're witnessing right now. See, what made this situation spiral wasn't one picture, it wasn't one clip, it wasn't even one person. It was the pattern, the repeated coincidences, the familiar faces popping up in unfamiliar places, the way certain people always seem to be around at very specific moments. And Pink Mafia, coincidence has a short lifespan on the internet. People started asking, how does someone keep ending up in the same rooms? How does access keep happening? How does this keep aligning over and over again? Allegedly. Now listen, nobody is saying anyone is doing anything wrong, but fans are saying the optics are loud and optics matter, especially when emotions, history, and public relationships are involved. Because let's be real, the internet remembers everything. Old captions, old interviews, old best friend labels, old jokes that didn't age well. And once those receipts start resurfacing, the narrative changes. Pink Mafia? What really shifted the mood was how calm everyone suddenly became. No clapping back, no shading, no long Instagram stories explaining timelines, just quiet. And sometimes silence isn't peace. Sometimes silence is strategy. Some fans believe this is about avoiding headlines. Others think it's about protecting brand deals, reputations, or timing. Because let's not forget, big weekends bring big money, and nobody wants drama stealing focus. But here's the thing, when you don't address speculation, the internet writes the story for you. And baby, they are writing novels right now. Comment sections are divided. One side saying, y'all reading too much into it. The other side saying, nah, something is off. And both sides are loud. What added fuel to the fire was the emotional contrast people picked up on. One moment, celebration energy. Another moment, distant energy. Short answers, quick exits. And fans are asking, allegedly, why doesn't this feel like unity? Because when people are secure, they glow differently. When people are confident, they don't rush. When people feel respected, they don't shrink. And the internet thinks it saw shrinkage. Again, allegedly. Pink Mafia, this isn't about blaming anyone. It's about recognizing patterns that don't feel random. Some viewers think someone wanted to be seen, others think someone wanted to be felt, and some believe this was a quiet power move disguised as coincidence. And let me tell you something, nothing triggers gossip more than a power imbalance. Because when one person gives everything publicly and the other gives bare minimum energy, people start feeling uncomfortable on their behalf. And that discomfort turns into discussion. Then discussion turns into speculation. Then speculation turns into trending topics. And here we are. Now let's talk about timing. Why now? Why this weekend? Why this moment? Fans believe, allegedly, that timing is never accidental. Moments like this are emotionally charged. Pressure is high. Egos are fragile. And decisions get messy. And sometimes people show their true priorities when they're under pressure. Some fans think the silence is temporary. Others think it's a warning sign. Because historically, when situations go quiet like this, one of two things happens. Either everything gets smoothed over behind closed doors, or someone eventually breaks and tells their version. And Pink Mafia, you already know. Once one person speaks, the floodgates open. What's also interesting is how outsiders are suddenly becoming part of the conversation. People who weren't even the focus are now being dragged into it, names being mentioned, past connections being revisited. And that's when things get dangerous, because the internet doesn't care about fairness. It cares about entertainment, and messy stories are entertaining. But here's the real question fans are asking. If everything is innocent, why does it feel like damage control? Why do answers feel rehearsed? Why does energy feel restrained? Again, allegedly. Pink Mafia, perception is everything in the public eye. You can be doing nothing wrong and still look wrong. And once that perception sets in, it's hard to shake. That's why people are watching so closely right now. Every move, every appearance, every caption. Because one wrong step could flip the entire narrative. And some fans think the narrative is already shifting. They feel like respect is being tested, like boundaries are being blurred, like someone's emotions are being put on pause while everyone else plays comfortable. And if that's true, allegedly, that's where resentment starts. And resentment doesn't stay quiet forever. Pink Mafia, let's be honest, the public doesn't want perfection. They want honesty, even messy honesty, because silence leaves too much room for imagination, and imagination is ruthless. So now everyone is waiting to see who shows up next, waiting to see who posts, waiting to see who doesn't, because absence can speak louder than presence. And when expectations aren't met publicly, people start questioning things privately. This situation isn't exploding yet. It's simmering. And simmering situations are the most dangerous because they don't burn fast. They burn deep. So Pink Mafia, keep watching, keep listening, and remember, the story isn't over until someone decides to tell it. And when they do, oh baby,